welcome to Seen Through Glass, and welcome to the brand new Bentley Continental Supersports. I've been waiting to get my hands on this car for such a long time, and amazingly, thanks to the Quail Rally here in Monterey, I'm finally getting to do so because Bentley sponsor the rally and they turned up today with this incredible looking red Supersports. I think this car looks super aggressive, and for a Bentley Continental, a car we are all very familiar with, it's given it a fresh look. I think it's suddenly made me open my eyes to a car which I thought I'd kind of written off. And when you look at some of the numbers of this thing, 700 horsepower, 750 pound-foot of torque. Oh, 0 to 60 is 3.5 seconds in a car that weighs the same as the Titanic. Honestly, everything about this car feels heavy. I'm not saying it's a bad thing necessarily, but even the doors are a workout. Closing the doors, I'm like, oh my God. The luxury in this interior adds to that weight because all of the leather work, the controls, the knobs, just everything feels so well made, so well put together, but yet lurking under the big bonnet in front of you is an engine that can perform like this. Now, I've been spending most of today driving a Lamborghini Huracan Spider, so this couldn't be more different when you come to cars. However, they're actually fairly similar. They're fairly similar in price. What is wrong with me today? This car is a nudge over £200,000, which is not cheap. But, as I said in my Bentayga video, I do feel like Bentley make their cars feel worth the money you're spending. A few bits on the dash feel a little bit dated in terms of type, font and digital displays, etc., but everything else I feel is really the part. The amount of carbon fibre on the Supersports is redonkadonk. It's dripping in beautiful carbon fibre, and this red paintwork glistens in the sun. I mean, it's unbelievable, the sparkle in it. I love it, absolutely love it. And then sitting here in this super comfy armchair, it's a very strange way to go very fast. And I don't know why I've suddenly started to come round to the idea of a Continental, because I say, we all know about them. Like, how many footballers' wives have been driving around in Continentals over the last decade? It's not a car that I think any of us get particularly excited about anymore. However, when I saw this Supersports launch, I was like, I need to have a go in that. I need to have a go in that. And I really don't feel like I've been let down yet. It's an incredibly short drive. Everyone is having lunch at the top of this hill, and I literally was like, I'm just taking the keys and going for a quick poodle in the Bentley. Hopefully no one notices. Let's have a little think. Let's have a little look. As a cabin, hugely spacious, a very nice mix between Alcantara and leather. Otherwise, it's very familiar. If you've ever been in a sort of Continental or really any of the modern Bentleys, it all feels pretty samey. As I say, I do love the fact that I can look at a wing mirror dripping in carbon fibre, and if I really peek over, I can also see the nostrils on the bonnet. I cannot see the rear wing, which I think is one of the nicest, most aggressive elements of the Supersports. The kind of quickest way to tell whether it is a Supersports or not, and I can't see it at all, which is a bit of a shame. What's it like to drive? I've come purposefully to a sort of tight and twisty mountain road because I don't think this is where this car is made for. It is a big, heavy GT car, Continental GT. I know this is the Supersports variant, but they haven't shed that much weight. The previous Supersports was in 2009? Was a sort of lightweight, hardcore variant. This only has shaved off around 40 kilograms, I think. Most of that is from the carbon ceramic brakes and the new titanium exhaust. And let's just talk about that exhaust for a second, because, oh my God, I'm pretty sure it's been developed by Thor. all plays part of the character of this thing, because my lord, if this is not a James Bond villain's ultimate car, I'm not sure what is. Could you imagine this thing in black or British Racing Green? I mean, I love my red cars, but I just think it would be another level in something dark and sinister. Also, what I like about this car, in comparison to, for example, a Lamborghini, is that it's elegant. Whilst being an absolute powerhouse and being able to propel you past most things in a very antisocial manner, it retains that level of decorum. You know, you just feel like a gentleman racer. And I think you all know at the minute, I'm a big fan of cars which can be used every day in so many different circumstances, and this really is one. I mean, look, I'm on a proper narrow, tiny canyon mountain road, and I am throwing this thing around. I freely admit there'll be quicker things to throw around, and I am really having to manhandle it, but I'm having a great time, and the power and the noise and the comfort is just exceptional. Now, as always, I like to try and think of some negatives, because, you know, I don't want to be too biased. I was already excited by this car, so I think it was going to be relatively easy for me to enjoy. However, they do say, don't meet your heroes. But, not this is a hero, but it was a car I was eagerly anticipating. So, as we go through some trees, I'm realising the lighting's going to be fairly dodgy. Yeah, as I sort of touched on a little bit earlier, some of the sort of tech feels a little bit old, and they haven't changed much inside the Continental for quite a few years now. The Bentayga and the Mulsanne feel a little bit different, but in here, I don't really like the steering wheel design, and yeah, some of the buttons just, they don't live up to the rest of the car. What else don't I like? Agreed, I've literally spent 20 minutes in this car going up and down the same hill. I've now actually taken a slightly different turn and I have no idea where I'm going. Hopefully I can find my way back to lunch to give this car back. Not that I really want to give it back. But yeah. Okay, back seats. Pointless. Pointless back seats. They could have, I think they could have got rid of those back seats for the roll cage like the previous Supersports. That definitely could have happened. But I understand why they've kept them in, because they wanted to retain that Grand Tourer style ability. Just looking down here, it's reminded me that we do have sort of variable suspension settings. So you can really put the car through very comfy, right through to super sporty, hardening it up, stiffening it up. And on roads like this, I've been running very sporty, because the car otherwise is just a bit, whoa, whiffy wavy. Apart from that, I don't have many complaints. I think it's a car that sits by itself in this sector. And one thing which I've realised this week, and especially from doing the Quail Rally, is that cars should be unique. There's too many modern supercars which are all doing very similar jobs. And I think it's exciting when you get something which is a bit different and has its own character. And by God, by golly gosh, this Bentley does that. So yes, the Supersports has met the expectations I had for it. I would love to spend more time in it. I would love to do a cross-European trip, or hey, you know what? A cross-American, trans-American trip in this car. I think it would be the ultimate road trip tool. But I guess that's what Grand Tours are. Anyway, as I descend into some more trees, I should probably go and find a way back to the lunch spot. Give this lovely Bentley back to the lovely Bentley people. And hope that I get to spend more time in one soon. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up if you have, and make sure to subscribe for plenty more videos to come.